For God did not give us a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of self-control. For God did not give us a spirit of fear, but of power and love and self-control, or sound mind. We are not brought here to live a world of stress. We are not brought here to live a world of fear. We're brought here, we are born here with all the human conditions of free will, so therefore we dive into those places, for sure, but it is not who we are inherently. It is not who we are in the truth of our being. From stress to strength, finding courage in the stillness within. Eric Butterworth. Stress is not produced by things that occur. It is the thought and feeling about them that create the stress. We know that. We know that so much, but how easily we forget. How easily we can forget to live our spiritual truths. As I have been in the stillness with this talk, I always think, one of my mentors and teachers, Reverend Sally Taylor, always said, so what's your so what? What's your so what? And I said, more please, more? What is your so what? When you're giving a talk and people take their time out of their day to come and be with you, to be spiritually inspired, they could be anywhere, and yet they choose to be with you on a Sunday morning. And I thought of that, and I was sitting with that. And with everything that I'm going to share with you, the very essence and the basis, my so what is, are we living the truth of what we know? Are we living the truth of what we know? Or are we just sliding by? And you know there's only one way to slide, and that's downhill. We can get complacent, we can forget. We may take our time in the morning for our meditation, our contemplation, whatever it is, and then we get busy with our day. And little by little, the stresses begin to infiltrate our peace of mind. They can begin to take over the reality. Stress is not produced by things that occur. It is the thought and the feeling about them. It is the frustration, it's the anger, it's the fear. It could be the resentment. It could be just desperation. You name the adjective. All of these things can come in and they take our peace. They take our peace. Our so what is to rise above and to be more and to remember more and more and more of who we are so that we are living that truth. We are remembering to come into that space where we more easily each moment remember that we are a holy being, that we are one with the divine. And then when the stress does show up, we can move through it more easily. We don't take it personally. But it is up to us to remember. For God did not give us a spirit of fear, but of courage. So when stress comes on, what is your go-to? on any given day, in any given moment. It could be a number of things. But what I'm wanting this day for us to remember is to not go on the stress autopilot, but to go on the God the Good autopilot. We always have that choice. Which side? You know, the little. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. It came through my microphone. So I have a choice in this moment, because that person never calls me at this time on a Sunday morning. So am I going to go into alarm mode, or just breathe with me? I'm sure everything's okay. If not, I'll get another phone call. But that is such an example of how easily we can get pulled off course, isn't it? With just even the quick things that come upon us. And we can forget to take that breath and go, okay. God is here and God is good. Whatever may be going on in our lives, there is still that constant, because the principle always works, because principle is principle. Principle is law. It is we who make the choices on what the world means around us. Now, I don't know about some of you, but lately, these days, it can be a little more challenging to breathe in the breath of God. And to remember that I can help change the world by staying more in that place of stillness and listening and wonder and guidance and remembering God the good, God the good. And to send my light out into the world, wherever my light may be being called. Again, stress is not produced by things that occur. It is the thought and the feeling about them. We get to pay attention and make that choice. To rise above into that place of transformation. That's what we're here for. We're here to love, and we're here to grow and transform. To awaken and be more and more life and love. Our first basic principle, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. God, the good, omnipotent, all-powerful. Stress tells us we're separate, unsupported, alone. But Spirit reminds us from Joshua 1:9, the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. To remember that we are never, ever alone. When we can breathe into that and draw upon that love and draw upon that energy, it just makes everything so much easier and so much lighter. And then we have more of what we need to be a part of the healing of the planet. To be a part of the raising of the consciousness of the planet. Whatever words, whatever terminology you want to put with it, I go back to the phrase that I often say, what are you feeding the field? We're either feeding it fear or we're feeding it love. We're either feeding it worry or we're feeding it faith. There are wonderful and amazing stories. We have all heard them from the ages of times of great stress When people are in moments of great stress, oftentimes they are able to come and rise above. We've read the stories of people being trapped under a car and someone seeing them and coming and lifting up the car. Where does that strength and courage come from? It's in those moments of remembering that we are so powerful. Human beings are divine. The Christ within, our very essence is of God, and therefore we are inherently good. We affirm that every week. Your Christ mind, the God self within you, is never stressed. It dwells in stillness and knowing, in unshakable peace. Feel that. Even just in reading that, I could feel a shift in my body, in my being. That is the constant. The other is our egoic self coming in and getting in the way. And again, I think we were brought onto this planet so that we could have these juxtapositions, and we can have these places where we are moved into remembering. I like to think that has been the standard, the cultural standard, the human standard that we learn through stress and trouble. But what if we learned through love? That the more love that we experience, the more love we receive, and that we don't have to continually learn by the hardships. What is that all about? Can't we finally get to a point where we can rise above that? That cultural and evolutionary standard? I know there are so many examples that show that that's how humanity evolves, by coming up against the hard places. I like to believe that it doesn't have to be so. That if we can remember who we are on a more regular basis, then we have less and less and fewer of the challenging times. And if we can hold that for ourselves and get into a place where we are living that from ourselves, then we can also hold it for all of humanity. Now, I would say we have some work to do on that. Even with ourselves, it can be a challenge because we get complacent, we get tired. But all it takes is a little bump in the road to help us remember, oh, wait a minute, that's not how I wanted to do it anymore. Let me do better about paying attention. Thich Nhat Hanh said, smile, breathe, and go slowly. This is one of my favorite Thich Nhat Hanh quotes, and he said so many wonderful and amazing things. But this always brings me back. Smile, breathe, and go slowly. In John 14:27, let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. For we have the power to shift and change. We have that power. You have that power to change the world, as Warren and Cheyenne say. Do you want that much power? Do you want that much responsibility? Maybe that feels way too overwhelming, but begin with yourself. Begin with yourself. And every moment you forget, trust me, you will be reminded, because we still live in this world that has so much appearance of separation. that if we're not doing our work, we will be reminded and we'll slip back. And then we get to go, oops, wait a minute. What is it our GPSs always say? Is it recalculating or whatever it is? Yeah. Eric Butterworth again. When you get your thoughts centered at the still point within, you will walk easily through any experiences without stress. That bears repeating. When you get your thoughts centered at the still point within, you will walk easily through any experiences without stress. Does that feel like a stretch? It's possible. It's possible. And again, that doesn't mean that you won't feel your feelings, that things may come up. But if we can remember to first go to God, go to breath, go to that still point, go to center, remember who you are. One presence, one power. You are not your stress. You are not your fear. You are not the world's stress. You are not the world's fear. You are the living expression of God. Keep yourself cloaked in that love. Keep yourself cloaked in that still, quiet knowing. Keep yourself cloaked in that loud, exuberant singing and laughing and dancing. Keep yourself cloaked in the beauty as you look out into the world around you, as you look into the night sky, as you look at the bounty of nature all around you. These are your touch points. These are the things that will help you remember who you are, the living expression of God. And so it is. And so, as we come into this time of giving our love offerings and our tithes, however it is that you give to Unity of Merced and however it is that you give to the world, just feel your body. Feel that life force within you. Feel the oneness of God. And know that this is you. As we affirm together, as I experience the awakening of divine consciousness, I offer this gift in celebration and thanksgiving.